All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're finding out exactly what it takes to become a certified lifeguard in Guam. It's definitely a tough journey, but it can lead to a really rewarding career protecting people in the water.
Have you ever been at the beach or a local pool and just watched the lifeguards, wondering what it really takes to do their job? It's way more than just getting a good tan and blowing a whistle. It is a serious responsibility that demands real skill, strength, and a whole lot of calm under pressure.
And look, we're not just talking about some summer gig here. Getting your lifeguard certification in Guam means you're earning a nationally recognized credential. It's your ticket to a real job, opening doors at pools, summer camps, and beautiful beaches all across the island.
Okay, so first things first. Before you can even begin the actual training, you've got to prove you have what it takes physically. Think of this as the first major hurdle you have to clear.
This is the big question, right? Do you have what it takes? As we go through these physical requirements, kind of measure yourself against them and see how you'd stack up.
The basic requirements to even enroll are pretty simple. First, you have to be at least 15 years old by the time the class ends. And second, and this is the big one, you absolutely must pass a pretty tough 3-part physical swimming test, which we're about to break down right now.
So, what's this test all about? Well, it's not just a bunch of random swimming challenges. Nope, each part is specifically designed to measure a critical skill you'll need on the job. Endurance for those long rescues, raw strength to help a victim, and the ability to stay calm and composed when things get intense.
First up, the endurance test. We're talking about a 300-yard continuous swim. To put that in perspective, that's like swimming the length of 3 football fields, end to end. And the key word here is continuous. You can't stop, and you have to use a mix of front crawl and breaststroke.
Next, a pure test of your strength and your technique. You have to tread water for 2 full minutes. Sounds kind of easy, right? Well, here's the catch. You can only use your legs. Your hands have to be kept out of the water the entire time. Trust me, it's a leg burner, and it is way tougher than it sounds.
And finally, we've got the grand finale of the physical test, the brick test. This thing is a beast. You're on the clock. You have just 1 minute and 40 seconds to swim out, dive 10 feet to the bottom, grab a 10-pound brick, and swim it all the way back. This is where your speed, your strength, and your skill all have to come together perfectly.
So, you've passed the physical test. Awesome. But really, that was just your ticket to the main event. Now, the real transformation begins. The 26.5-hour training course is where you go from just being a strong swimmer to becoming a certified professional.
And yeah, this is a serious time commitment. We're talking 26.5 hours of really comprehensive instruction. It's a deep dive that combines classroom theory, the why behind what you're doing, with intense, hands-on training right there in the water.
The entire course is really built on 3 essential pillars. First, you're going to master a whole range of rescue techniques. Second, you'll learn the incredibly high-stakes skills of how to manage head, neck, and spinal injuries. And third, you'll get fully certified in CPR, how to use an AED and First Aid.
And when we talk about rescue techniques, this goes way beyond just tossing a life ring. You'll learn how to handle all kinds of situations, like rescuing someone who is actively panicking versus someone who is unconscious. You'll practice what to do when there are multiple victims at once, and even learn how to escape if a panicked person grabs onto you.
Now, this next part is, there's no other way to say it, absolutely critical. We're talking about potential spinal injuries. A mistake here can have lifelong consequences. So you're going to learn exactly how to manually keep a person's spine stable in the water and then secure them to a backboard, both in shallow and deep water.
And of course, a huge part of being a lifeguard is being a first responder. The training covers CPR for adults, children, and even infants. You'll be an expert in using an AED, and you'll even learn advanced skills like using a bag valve mask to help someone breathe. You'll be prepared for pretty much everything, from choking to severe bleeding.
So, after all of that training, how do they really know you're ready? Well, it all comes down to the final test. These super realistic, high-pressure scenarios. They'll put you in a simulation, maybe an active drowning or a submerged victim with a spinal injury, and you have to put all the pieces together to prove you can handle a real emergency.
Okay, you've conquered the physical test, you've survived the intense training. Now for the payoff, right? This next section is all about turning those new skills and that shiny new certification into an actual job.
So let's talk numbers. The course costs $395. And honestly, the best way to think about this is as an investment in yourself. For that price, you get a professional certification that's valid for 2 full years and basically makes you immediately hireable. So, once you've got that certificate in hand, what's next? Well, you've basically got two main paths you can go down. You could be a pool lifeguard, think YMCAs, country clubs, community pools, or if you want a bit more of a challenge, you can take your skills to the open water and become a beach lifeguard for town patrols and state parks.
And that investment we just talked about, it starts paying you back pretty fast. The typical hourly pay for a certified lifeguard in Guam is somewhere between $15 and $21 an hour, depending on the location and your experience. That's a pretty solid wage.
And these aren't just theoretical jobs either. Graduates from these programs are working at real places all over the island, like Guam State Parks, the YMCA of Guam, private clubs, swim schools, and even the Dewey Beach Patrol. The opportunities are definitely out there.
But you know, getting certified doesn't have to be the end of the road. In fact, for a lot of people, it's just the first step on a real career path in aquatics.
For example, once you've got some experience under your belt, you can level up. There's an advanced course you can take to become a pool activity leader. This is where you start to learn leadership, how to supervise the team, and manage programs. It's the kind of training that preps you for those higher-level roles at aquatic centers.
So there you have it. We've walked through the whole journey, from the tough physical tests and the intensive training to the job opportunities and even the path for advancement. You've seen what it takes, so now the only question left is, are you ready to take the plunge?